Hello there, welcome to another character profile, and today I'm going to be discussing the career of who can be considered the first lady of superheroes, Lois Lane. She's changed and grown quite a lot in the years since her creation. She was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in 1938, making her debut in the very first issue of Action Comics alongside Superman. She was already established as a reporter always looking for the next story, especially ahead of her co-worker Clark Kent. And of course, there was that fascination she found with a certain Man of Steel. While she was certainly a love interest, they at least portrayed her as a career woman with her own ideals, which is certainly something for the time period. Now, being a comic book character who has existed for over 75 years, there are many iterations of her, and since I have not consumed every single piece of Superman history, I will stick to the depiction of Lois Lane as seen in movies and animation. Lois's first screen appearance came in the Fleischer cartoons, where she was voiced by Joan Alexander, who also provided her voice in the Superman radio series. These are fantastic shorts, some of the best work that Fleischer has done, but even with her persistence at getting the story, she would immediately find herself as the damsel of distress that Supes has to save. In one cartoon, she even risks her life just so she can report a story. Priorities, Lois! Her first feature-length appearance came in Superman and the Mole Men, widely cited as the first Superman movie. However, the most famous depiction of Lois Lane appeared in the movie that basically was a major influence on the current superhero film landscape. Superman the Movie, directed by Richard Donner. Margot Kidder played the role with a lot of likability, showcasing both her fierceness of trying to get to the top of the story, as well as a little clumsiness too. In addition to Christopher Reeve's ability to make himself seem like two completely different people when playing Clark's separate personas, Margot Kidder also managed to make it believable that she would have different reactions to Clark and Superman. As such, the two have a very sweet chemistry together. Superman 2 nicely expanded the relationship and actually had her put two and two together and realize Clark Kent and Superman are the same person. Only to have her memory erased by the end of the film, I guess, so everything can go back to the way it was for the next installment. Say what you will about Man of Steel, but they at least did not pull that. Of course, more on that movie later. Due to the way Richard Donner was booted off the second film, Margot Kidder complained to the producers, and as a result her part decreased in Superman 3. Though I'm not sure how big of a role Lois would have had in that movie since they wasted so much time on wasting Richard Pryor's comedic talents. Kidder's screen time was increased in Superman 4, and she even gives Clark some cheering up after Meteor Man exposes him to kryptonite. But, yet again, the movie wastes time on unfunny comedic hijinks. I think the first Superman movie is one of the best edited action pictures, and the way it carefully divides its screen time among its many characters is one of the main reasons. The sequels did not do this, and as such, Lois Lane is sadly not very developed in the moments not directed by Richard Donner. While the film series took a break with the possibility of adding polar bears and giant spiders being discussed behind the scenes, Bruce Timm produced the Superman animated series to follow up his popular Batman show. It was a fantastic series that brought the right elements of drama, action, and humor. Dana Delaney provided the voice of Lois Lane and brought her own charm and wit to the character, with her interactions with Clark Kent actually being some of the highlights of the series rather than her moments with Superman, in my opinion. I think people underestimate how human the characters were in Bruce Timm productions, especially in episodes written by Paul Dini. Like previous depictions of Lois, she was always trying to get the top story, even having a friendly rivalry with Clark. However, she never did figure out Clark and Superman were the same person, even though the two look and sound almost exactly the same. Lois returned to the big screen in Superman Returns, which picked up after Superman 2, and I actually thought this was a well-made, fun superhero movie that served as both an enjoyable sequel and tribute to the Richard Donner films, utilizing the very best of special effects, and yes, I even thought Brandon Routh did a great job of donning the cape. However, if there's an element I didn't think quite worked, it was Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. I never bought her as a tough reporter, but she instead came across like a snobby teenage girl. As such, she didn't have enough of a strong chemistry with Clark or Superman, and her reaction to her son having superpowers did not come across as believable. I'm sure she tried her hardest, but the spunk wasn't really there, and apparently she had no problem with having Superman's baby despite not having any memory of them sleeping together. Despite this unusual plot point, I was actually really looking forward to how they would explore this in the sequel. But alas, Superman Returns again never made it to the screen. Thus, last year we got the very divisive Man of Steel, which people either really loved or really hated, with some okays thrown into the mix. But there was really no consensus on this depiction of Superman. As for me, I liked it, and even the elements I hated the first time around didn't bother me so much on the second viewing. Well, except for the product placement. That's still really obnoxious. However, my favorite aspect of Man of Steel is the portrayal of Lois Lane, as played by Amy Adams. I would even go so far as to say this is my favorite screen depiction of the character. As great as the Donner and Tim versions are, I fully believe this as an investigative journalist, and I loved how they show her actually asking questions and going to the right places to find out who this strange person is that's helping out the inhabitants of both Smallville and elsewhere. I especially love that she basically knows Clark as Superman before they even meet. She uses her brain and Pulitzer Prize-winning skills to find him and see precisely why he's on Earth and doing what he's doing. No glasses, no hiding. They are fully aware of each other, and that helps in making their relationship stronger. Even later on, she doesn't become a damsel in distress and helps out in the final battle. And unlike most people, I completely bought into their relationship and felt it was believable. That ending shot of them knowingly looking at one another as they're reintroduced to each other is what really makes me excited for the next film. I know most people are curious about the fact that Batman, Wonder Woman, and who knows what other DC heroes will be in the next Man of Steel movie. But me? I'm mostly excited to see how it will depict their continuing relationship, and the fact that she is one of the few people who knows Superman's secret identity, and yet, as a reporter, she has to keep that knowledge hidden. Finally, I wanted to commend Amy Adams for her fantastic performance. The wit we expect from Lois is there, but when she has to act serious and think about the fate of humanity, and in her scenes with Clark, she handled those scenes with the fantastic acting skills we expect from her at this point. I actually rooted for her to get a Best Supporting Actress nomination for Man of Steel, even though I knew she had no chance. That's right, I think this performance was good enough to deserve not just a nomination, but the actual Oscar itself as well. And I will stand by that opinion forever, even though I know I'm in the minority there. In conclusion, Lois Lane has certainly gone through many versions over the years, as is normal for a long-lasting comic book character. And while most of which I'm familiar with are the ones on the screen, there's a reason she has lasted for so long, and unlike Batman's girlfriends, she has not been switched with other love interests. That and Superman is just really, really loyal. While she may not have the superpowers of Wonder Woman and She-Hulk, she's still one of the comic world's greatest heroines in my opinion. See you next time.